Welcome to Level Check Roblox. This is your in-game parent review for Experience Abstraction, and we're here to answer one simple question: is this game suitable for your child? Remember, nobody knows your child better than you do, and it's my job here at Level Check to play these games so you don't have to, and give you a summary so that you can make a decision if a game is suitable. As always, the timestamps are below if you need them, and if you wouldn't mind just hitting the thumbs up button to help other parents find this content, then that would help me out too. So let's dive straight into this game. So let's start off on the trending homepage then, where I noticed Experience Abstraction gaining rapid popularity. It's got over 90% like rate, it had several thousand players as well, but this is something I've never seen before. So, maturity level mild, it says artificial intelligence standalone. Now when I looked this up, this basically means they've used AI to generate the game code, and there's also a fear repeated and mild element to this as well. But because it is a maturity level mild, it means that it will be pushed to the home screens of everybody with a Roblox account aged 5 and upwards. Now I had to look into this a little bit because it says Experience Abstraction is a Roblox game inspired by the hit web series The Amazing Digital Circus, and as somebody who's never heard of that before, of course I went off and did some research so that you don't have to. But it basically says here, can you resist abstraction? So let's look at this. It's created on the 18th of June 2026, but the version we're testing today is the 13th of July. It's had about 5 million views, so it is a new game, but I wanted to experience what this was all about so that I could review this for you. So before we even dive into the game, what you need to know is that the Amazing Digital Circus is essentially a TV series that is on a lot of digital platforms such as Netflix, and basically it is an animated TV series about a girl or a woman that gets stuck inside a game and is trying to find the exit. So what you really need to know about this is that this is a very abstract and weird looking series. It is very cartoony. It's deliberately made probably for older children, and I guess this is underpinned by the fact that it is down as a age 12 recommendation on things like Netflix. And as you can see here from the IMDb website, there's quite a long list of different things that people might find inappropriate for younger audiences. So just before we even get into the game, you need to know that the TV series is rated around an age 12, so the fact it's being pushed to age 5 probably shows a bit of a mismatch there between the grading algorithm on Roblox and what the game content should be pitched for, but the game might be slightly different, so let's have a look into it. So when you load into this game, and I think maybe we'll stop calling it a game and call it an experience instead, because one of the things that's really abundantly clear is there are no rules, there is no lobby, there is no real clear user interface of what's going on, and presumably you wouldn't really know what's going on unless you knew a bit more about the series. So one of the things I noticed immediately was people spamming the name Kane in the public chat, and after watching the pilot episode, it now makes sense to me that Kane is the circus ringmaster who players can summon to protect them from these things called abstractions. Abstractions are basically monsters that have been created out of players when they have gone insane and their sanity has dropped from being stuck in this digital circus. In a bid to make this as least complicated as possible, what you basically need to know in terms of what this experience is that it is a giant soft play, if you will, of different obstacles and things where people can hang around. It is by default a social hangout, so it's not necessarily suitable for 5-year-olds because it is encouraging people to roleplay and chat amongst themselves. And then the element of anything, I suppose, that's a game is that the idea is, as per the homepage, to lower your sanity if you want to become a abstraction, which is one of the monsters. And the way you do that is by isolating yourself, going into a bedroom by yourself, turning off lights and watching your sanity drop, or hanging around by an abstraction without it injuring you or killing you. Or you can go to the highest point and isolate yourself from all of the other players in the experience, and within about 3 to 5 minutes you will then turn into one of these abstractions. Now when you are one of these abstractions, you get these really lovely bizarre cutscenes, and essentially there is nothing else that you can do other than run around the environment now as an abstraction and either intimidate or damage and kill other players until somebody then summons Kane and you end up getting thrown into what is called the cellar, and that is a very dark place where again you can kind of walk around taking the sights, but that is kind of as far as it goes. The only way I found to get out of there was to reset my character. So let's do due diligence and put this through the level check risk review then, where 0 stars is minimal or no risk at all and 5 stars is the maximum. And let's kick off with violence. So when I review violence, I look at things like actual conflict, blood and gore and inappropriate distressing scenes, and honestly there isn't a great deal in this game. It gets 1 star because when you are an abstraction you can then crush players, and if you are a player then being chased by the abstraction can be classed maybe a little bit as violent, but it is very minimal. The next thing I like to look at is psychological and emotional. These are things that are genuinely going to cause your child nightmares, or things that will cause them an emotional state such as being raged or frustrated with a game. And honestly I think this is probably a little bit more. I've given this 2 stars because of the cutscenes when you do abstract, but also being chased and knocking on doors with things jumping out of doors could scare really young children, maybe around the ages of 5 to 7, but beyond that it probably isn't too bad in this game. Lastly, I look at financial elements of games, whether there are opportunities to spend Robux, if purchases are transparent and clear as to what the player is purchasing, and honestly in this game Experience Abstraction there is absolutely nothing at all that I saw that you can buy, so this naturally gets 0 stars. Moving on to a quick summary then to round things off, is this game suitable for all ages, specifically a 5 to 8 year old of somebody with a Roblox Kids account? I'd probably be inclined to say no, but not because of the psychological or fear aspects, which could still be a little bit disturbing to younger viewers, but more so because this game or experience is designed as a social hangout that kind of requires you to talk and be around other players who are either talking in localized chat or in voice chat. So in this update, the violence is very minimal, there are no financial purchases available whatsoever, and the fear and psychological elements from this are probably quite mild unless the child is very young or very sensitive. In all honesty, the experience probably gets a bit boring after 15 minutes unless you have a bunch of friends in it as well, and so therefore I think it's more of a very good version of a fan-based experience linked to the web series. Remember, all of my reviews are independent. I am not endorsed by Roblox or the game developers to say certain things. This is just how I see things as a parent reviewing it on behalf of my children. I hope that this review has been useful to you today. If it has, please do hit the thumbs up button to help other parents find this kind of content, and subscribe to Level Check Roblox for more in-game parent reviews just like this one.